So you ever wondered the difference between Killeen and Harker Heights? Well, in this video, we're gonna explore the difference between the two so you can decide which one you might wanna live in. My name is Stephen Harris. I'm a broker associate with NextQuest Home Team, and it's our mission to be your #1 real estate resource for all things real estate related in the Fort Hood area. I get tons of out-of-town clients who come in, they're PCSing into the area, and they ask, hey, what's the difference between Killeen and Harker Heights? I made this video to explore the differences between the two. That way you can figure which one might be a better fit. Now, a lot of this is just gonna be my opinion, and I'm sure I'll miss some things, but at least you'll have a little bit more information on what each one has to offer. Let's start with reputation. Now, Killeen is known for Fort Hood and a lot of the bad press that comes along with that. Now, the reputation for Harker Heights is only that it is better than Killeen, which is a little bit unfair in my opinion, because they're like Siamese twins. They're interconnected, and it's hard to compare them statistically because one has a much larger population than the other. Harker Heights only having about 30 to 40,000 people, and Killeen getting close to 170,000 now. So in my opinion, it's apples to oranges. With that in mind, of course crime rates are gonna be higher in Killeen because there's more people. And Harker Heights has better schools, but there's also less amount of schools, so the amount of money allocated to provide for that school is much more because Killeen has several schools throughout. I call them two sides of the same coin because if you live in either one, you're going to use the other for its resources and amenities. Now, I'll say this, if you live in Killeen, you can pretty much never have to go to Harker Heights for anything. Everything is there. But if you live in Harker Heights, 9 times out of 10, you're going to have to go to Killeen for something. Harker Heights has a HEB, which is kind of old. It's got a Walmart, it's got a Target, and it's got the Market Heights area, which houses that Target, as well as movie theaters, some trendy restaurants, and also like some places to go shop for clothes and other things. Really, really nice area. It's probably only been there since about 2000, 2003. Killeen, it has 2 really, really big HEBs. It also has a couple Walmarts. There is no Target though, so you would have to go to Harker Heights for that. But it has tons of restaurants. It has the Killeen Mall, which, I don't know how you feel about malls, but Killeen has a mall, whereas Harker Heights does not, so you would probably have to go into Killeen in order to use the mall. Harker Heights has a smaller amount of restaurants and less shopping destinations, but I will admit my 2 favorite restaurants, Arapitas and Acropolis, are both in Harker Heights. So if you were moving there, that would really be a matter of a 5-minute drive or a 15-minute drive. And really you could live on the other side of Harker Heights and that would still be like a 10-minute drive. So all depends on what you want to access and how quickly you want to get there. Distance from the base. You can get to the main gate on Fort Hood in about 15 to 20 minutes, no matter where you are in Harker Heights. And that's pretty much the same thing for Killeen, but there are some areas in Killeen that are substantially closer to the base, so you can get there a lot quicker. Some of those areas you might not want to live in. Let's talk about aesthetics, my favorite topic. I have to admit, Harker Heights is more aesthetically pleasing than majority of Killeen. Now, along the Clear Creek area of Killeen, which is like the furthest away from Harker Heights, there's newer development there, and it is actually really nice and getting nicer by the day. But most of the stuff in the Harker Heights area was built in the 2000s. So a lot of it's not even a full 20 years old. So that, of course, looks a lot nicer. The older neighborhoods in Harker Heights are also nicer in my opinion, and I think that's because the military leadership used to go to Harker Heights to kind of get away from the rank and file of everybody else who kind of stayed closer to base. Now, on a little history lesson, Harker Heights actually used to be kind of the scourge of the area. Killeen was a dry city, so there were no alcohol sales. And so the soldiers would go into Harker Heights in order to have access. You couldn't sell alcohol in Harker Heights at the time, but if you joined a club, through your membership, you could then consume alcohol on the premises. And it's pretty funny, like now Killeen is wide open, but there is a line of nightclubs right as you cross over the Killeen Harker Heights line, like on Business 190, that's still there. And I want to say there's like 8 or 9 nightclubs, bars, strip clubs, like in consecutive order. Let's talk about home values. The median home price in Harker Heights right now is about $275, and in Killeen it's about $225. So that's a really healthy $50,000 difference, and that can mean a lot for somebody's monthly payment. I'll say this, you probably get larger lots in Harker Heights, and there are more options for higher end neighborhoods in Harker Heights, but there are less neighborhood options overall in Heights. So that's what kind of drives the prices up. Whereas Killeen, you pretty much have like a full spectrum of options. There are some nicer higher end areas, there are some more rural areas, and then there are some nice affordable neighborhoods that you can get into at a really good price point. And there's tons of options. So where there will maybe be 50 houses on the market in the Harker Heights area, there will be 150 houses on the market in the Killeen area at any given time. There are a few different builder options in Harker Heights, but the main prominent builders that are there right now are pretty much in both areas. Now, culture is our next topic, and I have to give it to Killeen on this one. Harker Heights kind of pulls from Killeen's culture. There are some great mom and pop restaurants there, and it's also great for entrepreneurs, but Killeen is king in that category. The diversity, like I said, the mom and pops, the food, there's just way more options. So there's good mom and pop spots in Harker Heights, like some great ones, but you have more options for the same type of mom and pop restaurants in Killeen, and they're kind of spread out all throughout the city. And then just kind of that whole military service feel, all of that really pervades throughout the Killeen area. So I have to give it to Killeen for culture just because it's been established longer and like it is really ingrained in the soil there. Where Harker Heights is a little bit more, we'll say, suburban. Some of my favorite neighborhoods in the Harker Heights area: Tuscany Meadows, Evergreen Estates, Skipjaw Mountain, and the amazing Eagles Landing. That's where like the big mansions are up on the hill. Killeen does not have one of those. Some of my favorite neighborhoods in Killeen are White Rock Estates, Yow Ranch, Goodnight Ranch, Estancia West, Bunny Trail, Clear Creek, Bridgewood, like the list goes on and on and on. So there you have it. There's my take, Killeen versus Harker Heights. Hopefully this was helpful in giving you a little bit more information so that you can make your decision. And I'm curious to know, which one do you think will fit your situation the best? Leave it in the comments below. Would love to hear from you. And if this was helpful or brought you any value at all, please like, subscribe, or just drop me a comment letting me know that you enjoyed the video. As always, I appreciate you spending a little bit of time here with me today, and I'll see you on the flip side. Peace.